I wanted to do some elbow tap practice, but because it's raining outside, which the camera may or may not be picking up, I've decided that I could just do it here. That should be fine. And it should just be about being able to see myself do the elbow taps. So I was looking at myself do the elbow taps yesterday and I saw that my hands were very far out and wide. I want to keep them straight and closer to the side of my body, so I make it easier for myself to do the elbow taps and to also not put as much strain as I was on my shoulders yesterday. Yeah, to work on not using my shoulders in a way that which I'd injure myself. I want to go wide, look, to get into position. I want to go wide, but to make it easier for myself, I'm bringing them closer in, just below my shoulder blades when my spine's hurting. Oh man, I find it way more difficult to do elbow taps like that, but I sense I'm getting somewhere because I'm going out my way to focus on doing the elbow taps with proper form rather than just any form. However, even if it's not the cleanest of form, that's still a starting place. Start just doing the reps and then working on the form. I think I should take that approach. Might hurt my shoulders long term, but I am going out my way to get into contact with my personal training tutors to counter that by asking them for help and advice on how to not injure my shoulders and how to reduce and ideally do what I need to do to stop all this fucking joint kicking I've got going on. There's no need for me to swear when saying that, but anyway, back to it I go. I'm gonna try and keep them close to my side now when getting up into position, rather than having them wide as I set up. That might help. I could even practice it like this. I'd like to make it that easy in handstand position, this easy. That would be nice. But even still, I have to lean, or actually no, I'm purposely trying to not lean on one side. So in order to not lean on one side, I've got to really push on that hand that's on the ground. I wasn't doing that during the other reps. During this session, also yesterday's session, I was really leaning yesterday. So to work on form, to reduce the leaning, so I'm balancing on my hands more and making it easier for my hands to stay straight and reduce the likelihood that I'll injure my wrists or make myself have arthritis from all this joint clicking I've got going on in my shoulders. I want to go out my way to not lean and not have my hands out wide to put excessive pressure on my shoulder joints. Oh, it's so difficult. I find it so hard. Oh, that's more progress. That's something. I was just spontaneously sliding my hand, which I wanted to get off the ground, to the other hand I wanted to keep on the ground. I've literally just started thinking about the muscles that I'd be using to make my hands stay on the ground as well. And I'd say a part of that, the main part is probably my triceps. That's what I feel now when I really push deep into the floor. But I wouldn't when getting into position though. So I could try this again and take it from there. But I'm definitely getting somewhere with these elbow taps with proper form. I wouldn't even depress my chest and activate the chest muscles there when getting into position like how I would the normal push up. There's so much pressure on my spine. I think that's just because I'm not keeping it straight back. It's difficult to see not from when I'm not doing it from a side angle, but this is the best angle that I've got, really. All right, I'm starting to sweat from this work I've done and the push-up work that I've done, that I'll show later on after moving. But wow, I'm genuinely starting to break a sweat. And I haven't really done much time-wise, but effort-wise, I definitely have, and that's why I'm panting for breath, even inside. Wow. Okay. Well, I'd like to get to a point where I could easily control it and just keep one hand on the floor and the other hand lifted up without elbow tapping. If I could control that, then on both hands, then I think I'd be making it way easier for myself to make that elbow tap happen, because I'd basically be doing that same thing, lifting my hand off the ground and then tapping. I wouldn't think of it like a two-step process, so I think that's probably why I wasn't making the amount of progress that I could have been making if I did split it into separate steps to get that elbow tap to happen. But yeah, keep one hand on the ground. Then the first step would be to take the other hand off the ground, and then the second step for me would be, well, that's the first step, taking one hand off the ground. Then the second step is to control the movement of that hand that's on the ground while maintaining pressure on my other hand that is on the ground. That way I'll be making it easier for myself to do that elbow tap and eventually be able to trust in my handstand position in terms of what I'm doing with my upper body on the wall, and then from there learn how to balance, lift my feet off the floor from the wall as well. That's why I'm doing this anyway. Okay, activate chest, get up into handstand position. Oh wait, hold on, a bit further away. This, in theory, it sounds so easy, but lifting one hand off, just does not seem like an easy task at the moment. But if I learn how to do that, then I'll make more progress. I think I should probably leave it there for now. Or no, okay, no, hold on. I say that's step one and step two. Getting one hand off the ground, step one, and then controlling that hand that's in the air whilst maintaining that pressure, step two. But what about step zero, where I learn how to maintain pressure more on one hand than the other? I could try that and see how that works. Okay. Seems like it's been way longer than just 8 minutes, but hey, something. All right, okay, so I could lean more on one hand and then, okay, get my palm off that one hand I want to lift off the ground. So it's just the fingertips, and then eventually take it off. I think in order to do that, I might genuinely have to lean to keep that balance, but I will, that's the starting point. I was going to say I'll try not to do that, but I can develop my technique later. For now, I just want to get it done. Activate chest, get into position. Yeah, I'm sensing I've got to lean to maintain, to get that pressure on my hand that I need to do the elbow tap. Fine. Well, at least I've got somewhere. By taking it in smaller manageable steps than I thought I would have needed to, but that's fine. At least I'm getting somewhere. Hurts my spine though. I want to do some cat cow. Where I'm doing the cat part of the motion, I think it's called. That's exactly where I'm feeling it in my spine when getting into position. I find it so hard. Okay, I've just come up with an idea. Maybe I could do the elbow taps with my feet as high as they could get, and then take it from there. That's probably gonna put pressure on my spine regardless, but I can do something. Oh, that's something I can do. I just imagine myself falling and I don't want to hurt my neck. So I'll put this cushion there. Just in case. Maybe one for my coccyx too. There you go. Very comfortable, very nice on the hands and my wrists, I'll tell you what. I was just trying to put more pressure on one hand and take my palm off the floor on the other hand. That didn't seem so, I didn't feel much on my spine there, much pressure on my spine there when getting into position like that. Probably wasn't the straightest I've been, but it's something. And wow, it could just be the wood. That could be a part of why I find it so difficult. If I did it on grass, then I might find it easier, but because it's a hard surface, I might find it more difficult to take my hand off the ground, or one hand off the ground. Well, I'm getting somewhere. I don't want to do elbow taps out of ego, just to say that I've done them, but so I'm going to leave it there for this session, I think, because I know I can do them by leaning onto one side and then tapping. That's how I get that maximum pressure on one hand that I need to keep myself in the position with one hand off the floor. So I think that's just how I'm going to do it from now on. But as I develop my skills, I could lean less to make it easier on my spine, to keep my spine straight as possible and as neutral as possible, so that I'm not hurting myself in the long run, because I've definitely hurt myself during the session and I haven't even fallen over, because all of that pressure through putting all of that pressure on my spine, and my spine doesn't like it whatsoever. Right here, it's not a nice feeling whatsoever. Exactly where you do the cat part, I think, of the cat-cow exercise, that stretch, that's where it hurts. It's not nice whatsoever, but the pain is cooling down because I'm not putting as much pressure on it. But that's it. I'm going to leave it there, and then I can further develop my handstand skills, or my elbow tap skills in handstand position later on, probably with my feet further up the wall. I could do it in a park, for example, where I'd usually go, and then take it from there. That way I wouldn't be doing it on this hard wooden floor, which might make it more difficult to actually get my hands off the floor. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'm done. I could make this longer, in which I'll be able to make more progress, but this is the most progress of the session I've made in a while, from just having very brief sessions, as I've been sacrificing the length of these videos to let other parts of my life that I'd take care of outside of the logs blossom. Yeah, but I'm going to try and make it more equal, so I'm putting an equal amount of effort into the aspects of my life that I'm currently focusing on. However, that's it. I'm going to leave it there. That's the end of the session. I've definitely made some progress. I definitely know that I've got to lean at least somewhat, and the more I lean, the more I put pressure on the one hand I want to keep on the floor, which I didn't know yesterday. Now I think from this point onward, with that knowledge in mind, I could further develop the mind to muscle connection I need in order to do elbow taps with ease in handstand position with my feet all the way up, and also with a 90-degree bend at the hips, so that I could trust in my handstand form in terms of what I'm doing with my upper body. When I do have my legs the highest up, I could have them in a straight position, with my body being all the way straight, and then eventually lifting my feet off the floor and knowing what it's like to have my feet off the floor in handstand position, and to therefore know what it's like to hold a handstand position eventually without any wall support. But now I'm gone. Bye. I'll progress from here tomorrow.